All right, so we'll start at running back, Dalton. We'll start with the guy who I think is the most common RB1 among rankers, and that's Breece Hall out of Iowa State. He's not even 21 yet. I'm going to let you go ahead and give your Breece Hall take. I'm going to pull up a little Breece Hall highlight to pull up on the stream to show the people.
Out of every position player in this draft, I think Breece Hall needs to go 101 unless you're in a super flex. Then there's an argument for Malik Willis. But I mean, this guy has a consistent body of work. As a freshman, he had 1,140 yards, which was 28% of his team's offense. Then as a sophomore, he had 1,766, which was 35%.
Mm-hmm.
And then his junior year, he had 1,743, which was 37%. And in this class, he's number one in career yards a game, which is 129. He's by far the best prospect in this draft. His offensive shares compared to guys like Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey aren't as good. They were both at 46 and 45%, but 37% puts him in the top 18 of running backs drafted in the first 5 rounds in the last 4 years. So he definitely has the ability to be a quote unquote generational talent. I know everybody is a generational talent before they're drafted.
It can't be a generational talent if we say it every year. I'm just going to get that out of the way early. A generational talent is a quite literally once in a generation talent, which means like every 15 years, like 10 years, something like that.
He definitely could be a generational talent. And he's definitely a guy that you will love on your fantasy team and could be productive for 6 years, and you'll be happy with your pick.
Yeah, and like it's not even 21 yet, so he'll be 21 when the season starts. I think he's going to be an immediate starter, assuming he doesn't get drafted by a team that for example, he took a visit to the Commanders. Like if the Commanders, for some reason, drafted him, yeah, probably not an immediate starter. But most other places, that guy's going to start right away. He's got great burst, great footwork. He's a really good cutter, can operate in small spaces, and you kind of see all of that in this beginning clip here that I'm playing. He's got the vision, got the cut, can make it to the outside. He's not like the quickest 40 guy in the world, but he's got good enough speed, obviously. And I don't know if I'd say he's the most, do you think he's the most complete back? Like between he and Kenneth Walker, which one of those two do you think is the more complete back?
Well, so it's funny because I was looking today, and when it comes to every carry inside the zone, a zone run, gap scheme, outside runs, Kenneth Walker graded better in his 1 year at Michigan State. Mm-hmm. But the complete, I mean, it really comes around to receiving.
You can really see the cut right there if you're watching this on the YouTube, by the way. Yeah. That last one, I'll play it again.
I just think the issue is Kenneth Walker didn't get the opportunity to catch, and so we don't know if he's going to get that in the NFL. And that probably is why Breece Hall is a consensus, especially among fantasy guys, as the overall number one. But yeah, he probably has the most complete skill set. It's funny. He ran a 4.39 at his pro day, which everybody was amazed by.
Yeah, everybody was running 4.3s at their pro days this year.
I was going to say, when it comes to speed this year, I don't think we can trust a single one of the combine numbers. It was the fastest combine for every single positional group except quarterback this year. So I just think they have a new timer in place. I mean, Jalen Peter, that safety, ran like a 4.29.
But yeah, I think Breece is really good. I think he's the RB1 in this class if I had to choose between the two. I do think, and we'll get to Kenneth Walker in a minute, I think it's really close, though. I think you could make the argument for Walker. I think he's actually the more complete rusher right now. And it's funny, Breece, I would say one of the things that people will nitpick about him is his pass catching. But if you look up Breece Hall highlights on Twitter, he's got a one-handed catch and a couple of the others come off of catches. So he can catch the ball. And I think he will catch the ball in the NFL. He's just inconsistent at that right now. Some of the technique stuff, and he'll need to get better at that. And he's just not as fast as Kenneth Walker, just like a straight 40. I don't think either. At least maybe not straight 40. I don't know what their actual 40 times are. But although Walker's a 4.38, so I have to imagine that's a tad faster. But just on the field, I think Walker has more of that big play, but Breece does a lot more. He's a more powerful back. He's bigger. More of a specimen. I think Breece Hall's a really good player, and I'm with you that if you're not in a super flex, and maybe even if you are, I think this is the favorite to go number 1 overall in all rookie drafts, unless the landing spot is a disaster like the Commanders.
Yeah. And the last thing, when it comes just to Walker and Hall, I probably feel a little more confident about Hall because Walker didn't play very well at Wake Forest. And I mean,
I'm not so sure. I'm not sure I'd say that.
he didn't play. Okay, he didn't play at the level he played at Michigan
Yes,
State to
yes,
warrant.
and he wasn't Breece Hall level from, like, if you look at their 2020s, he
Yeah.
played 7 games. But also, here's what I'll say that we as KU football fans should be aware of when you're looking at players on bad teams. Like Khalil Herbert, not so good at KU, partially because the coaches giving Puka Williams the ball a lot, which he should have got the ball a lot, but also like his team was garbage. So you've got to kind of take that into account as well, I think, with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, but it's not like Iowa State was a gleaming program of success for the
No,
2
but
years.
they're better. They're better than Wake Forest.
Absolutely, yeah.